The fitting is half an inch. You're almost sure. You stand in the plumbing aisle of a hardware store on a Thursday morning, turning a brass elbow over in your hand. Fluorescent light. The smell of cut pipe and cardboard. Somewhere behind you, a forklift beeps as it backs up. A man 2 feet away compares prices on 2 identical washers. Nobody is looking at you. There is no reason anyone would. Your phone buzzes. You almost ignore it. The subject line stops you. Q3 portfolio summary. No exclamation mark. No champagne. Just black text on a white screen. You read the number at the top twice, the way you read something when you don't trust your own eyes. $650 million. You set the brass elbow back on the shelf. You don't feel taller. The forklift keeps beeping. Here's how you got here. It starts with a vending machine, not a vision. A Tuesday. You're 29. You work a shift that ends at 3. The break room machine is out of water and the one beside it is jammed, and instead of being annoyed, you stop. You look at it. You think one ordinary thought. Who owns this thing? It takes you 40 minutes online to find out. 40 minutes longer than anyone else would bother. A small operator. A dozen machines across 3 buildings. $40 to $120 a month per machine, after product, after the location's cut. Not glamorous, not even interesting, but you do the math, and the math does something to you. 1 machine clears $80 a month. 5 machines, $400. 25 machines, run tight, and you're looking at $2,000 a month arriving whether you show up or not. The money isn't the point. The architecture is. The machine doesn't need you. It sits in a hallway, solving a small problem for strangers, and it pays you every time. You're 30. You spend $900 on your first machine, used, dented on one side. You place it in the lobby of a dental office on a handshake. First month after restocking it twice, you net $190. $190. Your coworker made more than that on 1 overtime shift. Nobody congratulates you. Nobody knows there's anything to congratulate. You sit with the number on a Thursday night and feel something that isn't pride and isn't disappointment. Something quieter than both. You don't quit. You're not looking at the 190. You're looking at what it proves. It proves the architecture works. You're 33. You buy your first laundromat. $47,000. A working-class block in Ohio. The machines are old, but they run. The previous owner kept his books in a spiral notebook and ran the place out of a flip phone. The books are a mess. Underneath the mess, the cash flow is real. People always need to wash their clothes. That need doesn't negotiate with a recession. First year, it nets $38,000. You don't celebrate. You use it as a down payment on the next one. You're 36, then 40. The decisions stack. A second laundromat, a third. 2 parking lots bought at county tax auctions on Tuesday mornings in government buildings where nobody else shows up. 3 billboards on state routes, where you don't own the ads, you own the dirt underneath them, and advertisers pay you ground rent for 15 years at a time. A commercial cleaning company you bought from a man named Frank, who built it over 31 years into something that runs on its own momentum. None of it interesting. All of it paying. Your accountant is named Karen. 19 years doing books for small operators. She has seen shoebox receipts and chaotic LLCs, and she does not impress easily. She reads your folder slowly at a folding table in a back office. Then she looks up. This is the most deliberately uninteresting portfolio I have ever seen. She means it as a mild criticism. You take it as the highest compliment of your life, because that's exactly what you built. Not a brand, not a mission. A quiet collection of things that solve unglamorous human problems and pay you every month while you sleep. Here's what nobody tells you about money like this. They think stealth wealth is modesty, a philosophy. The humble rich person at peace with their abundance. For you, it's a strategy. The ordinary life is armor, and you wear it on purpose. You drive a 2019 Honda Pilot. 91,000 miles. A crack in the rear bumper you've been meaning to fix for 8 months. You don't fix it. The fleece you wear was on sale. Your watch tells time and does nothing else. The Pilot isn't a statement. It's a tool. It starts every morning and it draws zero attention in any parking lot in America. The average new car payment is around $735 a month. You paid cash 4 years ago and have spent nothing since but gas and oil. Every dollar that isn't a car payment goes somewhere that compounds. That's the math. It isn't complicated, it's just unpopular. But here is the part the armor doesn't tell you about. The cost. Visibility is expensive in ways that have nothing to do with money. The moment people know what you have, they stop relating to you and start relating to what you have. A cousin you haven't spoken to in 4 years finds a reason to call. Someone at church has a business idea. Your brother-in-law has a deal that just needs a little seed capital. So you keep the space around you clean. The fleece, the Pilot, the laundromats, the careful appearance of a man doing fine but not exceptionally. It costs you almost nothing, and it buys you the one thing money usually can't. The ability to move through your own life without being seen as a target. And then there are the rooms nobody walks into. Your best friend since college is named Marcus. He was at your mother's funeral. He calls on random Wednesdays with no agenda. 3 months ago he called, and underneath the conversation was a number. $85,000. A brick-and-mortar spot for the food truck he'd built over 2 years. You could have sent it from the parking lot of a laundromat without feeling it. 11 days of cash flow. Not a sacrifice. Barely a decision. You didn't send it. You sat at his kitchen table 4 Saturdays in a row instead. You found the 2 line items bleeding him. You asked what happens in month 18 if foot traffic comes in 30% low. He didn't know, because nobody had ever asked it with him. He found $60,000 through an SBA program and a city grant. He signed the lease himself. He called you crying the night he got the keys and said he couldn't have done it without you. You will never tell him what you could have written the check for. That's not modesty. It's understanding what the story needed to be. His story. Built by his decisions. Owned by him in a way no check could have made possible. The armor works. The portfolio runs quiet and the account grows and nobody watches. But nobody sees it either. Some nights that's a different kind of cost entirely. You're standing in the plumbing aisle. The forklift is still beeping. $650 million sits in an email in a hand holding a brass elbow. You thought there would be a seam, a before and an after you could feel the edge between. There is no seam. There is the fluorescent light and the smell of cut pipe and a number that has been accumulating through 11 years of Tuesday questions. You reply to Karen with 3 words. Thanks. Looks right. You pick the elbow back up. You pay $8.47. You drive home the same road, same Pilot, same crack in the bumper. 11 years ago you netted $190 and felt something you couldn't name. This is the same feeling. Exactly the same. Just with more zeros behind it. Which means the feeling was never about the number. The laundromat drain isn't going to fix itself. You start the engine,